This is a really tough one. I don't even really know how to start this video. Hello and welcome back to another video here in the LEGO Room. I hope you are well. Today I am going to do a little video with some thoughts, some opinions about where we're moving forward with LEGO and with LEGO Star Wars in particular. If you're a LEGO Star Wars fan, please do drop a like on the video and do consider subscribing. There's always LEGO Star Wars stuff going on in this room, as you can see from the backdrop. But I got asked once or twice over the last week or so whether I'd be covering the Death Star leaked images. I won't be covering them until we actually get some official imagery from LEGO about this set. I won't be showing any of the leaked images that we have seen so far. They are, of course, out there in the wider space for you to go and check out if you haven't already seen them. Fair to say, though, that the Death Star in question, the $1,000 Death Star, the £850 Death Star that's coming out at the very start of October, isn't exactly what you think it would look like. Everyone, I imagine, would assume it looks like a spherical ball, and that is not what it's going to look like. So really fascinating stuff, and can't wait to dive into that when we do get the images from the LEGO group. A couple of updates as well before we get into it, just in regards to some of the leaks that we've covered in the past over the last month or so on the channel, and some new information as well. And first off, the Mando battle pack with the 332nd clones in is going to be $23 US, which basically means it'll be £20 here in the UK. It was a thought process that it would be £18 and $20, but it'll be $23 and therefore £20 at the very start of January. So just another ever so slight price increase. I kind of expected it to happen, to be totally honest, but there we go. We also knew we were going to get the Vader bust as well for 2026 at the very start of the year. We're also now going to get a Yoda bust as well. They're very much copying what they've done with the Marvel line with the Spider-Man and Iron Man busts. I imagine these will have little minifigures of both of these figures on them as well, just like we've seen with those Marvel sets. Interesting set. There is a price for this. I have totally forgotten what the price is. I probably should have written it down. I believe the Yoda will only be $50 US, which means it'll probably clock in at about that £46 mark we've seen with the Invisible Hand and with other sets as well recently for that Yoda bust. And yeah, 300 odd pieces. It's, again, price per piece is going to miss. I imagine it's not going to be very big either, with obviously Yoda not particularly big anyway. The Vader one, on the other hand, slightly bigger and slightly more expensive. I believe that to be $60 US. So some really interesting stuff going on there. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about these busts just yet, but we'll have to wait and see when we do finally get the images of these. A couple of sets to drop for you that are coming in March as well, and these aren't quite as exciting as we had hoped. We'll start with the set that I'm really excited about, which is Darth Vader's TIE Advance. Only 478 pieces in this set, so I expect it to be significantly smaller than the previous model, particularly the one we saw in that dual ship Rebels set. Only £60 here in the UK, $70 US as things stand. And this price per piece, obviously, it's completely out the window. I'm hesitant to even speak about price per piece anymore, because it just, we're never getting back to it, in my opinion. I don't think we're ever going to get back to that point, the way things are going. And maybe that is the theme of the video and something I'll get onto very shortly, but I can't see us ever getting back to that. 478 pieces for £60. You'd imagine it's going to have Vader in there. That's pretty much a shoe-in. I imagine there'll possibly only be 2 other minifigures as well. They're starting to shrink the amount of minifigures that we see at that £50 to £60 mark. You saw it this year with the V19 Torrent. We only got the clone pilot along with Asajj and Obi-Wan, and 3 very good figures as well, I've got to say. Really nice little lineup of figures for £60, but I imagine this will probably follow suit and only have 60 for £60, only have 3 figures in there, Vader of course being one of them. That is just a prediction. We don't have any images for it. We've just got the piece count and the number, which will be set number 75421. The other set that's releasing at the very start of March is set number 75423, and that will be Luke's X-Wing. Isn't it about time we got a Luke's X-Wing on the market? Yeah, another Luke's X-Wing. I kind of couldn't believe it when I saw this. I actually could have done a video about this about a week ago when I first saw it, but I actually thought that this was like a fake rumor, because of the amount of Luke's X-Wings that we've seen over the last, let's say, 25 years, but certainly over the last couple of years. And of course, that UCS set is coming off the market at the very end of the year. 584 pieces in this set. So you're probably thinking 584 pieces, what will that be? £60, £70? This is going to be $100 US, which will make it £90 here in the UK for a Luke's X-Wing. Yeah. That is almost the perfect way to lean into the type of video that I kind of wanted to talk about today. Now, I always try to be super positive with Lego, and particularly with Lego Star Wars. It has been very challenging this year at numerous points, and I am particularly disheartened with where we are heading, particularly with some of the prices of these sets. Hopefully I'll be able to find the clip of this, but I did say last year, 2024 is the kind of set where we're seeing the straw break on the camel's back for a few individuals. During the price per piece and where are we headed video, I spoke about the fact that the straw will break on the camel's back for a lot of people at some point, and it looks as though we kind of already are there. And there has been what has been considered to be review bombing going on some of the August 1st sets for Lego Star Wars on the lego.com website. However, my gut feeling is that these aren't really review bombing. Review bombing, of course, refers to people going in on a set and trying to create an even worse image of the set, or whatever it may be, a film or a restaurant, whatever it may be, but to sort of add sort of fuel to the fire. What I actually believe is happening are some of these sets are actually getting reviewed by fans who aren't actually review bombing. Now, obviously at this point, almost 3 weeks on from when they first came out, I kind of expect there to be a bit of review bombing now that people have noticed this, and it's been something that's popped up on Instagram almost every day for the last week. These sets are getting review bombed, and that'll probably be happening now. But I think in the beginning, for these sets to have such low ratings, they were probably just getting bad reviews, and there has been a lot of sort of complaints in the wider space about the price of Lego in general and Lego Star Wars as well. And I think that a really good example of this is the Wally and Eve set that is coming out on September the 1st. What a set that I'm really excited about, and I believe Mrs. Bricker may well be planning another takeover on the channel. But this set is 811 pieces for £60 here in the UK. You technically don't get any minifigures, but they're technically two robotic figs. Not really figs, but they're two characters, and it looks a really nice value set as well. A Disney IP set, and that is the important thing as I move on to the next part of this, which is, of course, that the tiny clone turbo tank, which I personally don't even think looks like a clone turbo tank, which is almost my biggest gripe with it, other than the fact that the structure of it looks as though it's going to break and has been shown to break, as well as the price, the abhorrent price, which is £140, $160 US. It is miles off. Now, I say all that to say that whilst, of course, you're going to get the Galactic Marines, you're going to get Ki-Adi-Mundi, you're going to get Commander Bakara in that set, some figures that we've wanted for ages, and a really nice new Ki-Adi-Mundi, it has to be said. There is 813 pieces in that set for £140, and there is 811 pieces in the Wally and Eve set for £60. That is absolutely crazy, and people have spoken in the wider space about the clone tax, the idea that there is a clone tax on sets, and any set with a clone in, you're looking at extra money and shrinkage of set, and maybe corners cut in some areas. And I think this is the perfect example. Yes, there's no minifigures in the Wally and Eve set, but I really think when it's a Disney IP set, the license by which they would have to pay to have a Disney Lego item out on the shelves, similarly to, of course, Star Wars, of course, owned by Disney, which is a whole nother conversation to the side for another time. It is mental to me that a 2-piece difference can register an £80 difference in sets. Literally mind-blowing. So where does that leave us? It leaves me almost exactly where I was a year ago, saying that I still think there will be a moment that breaks the camel's back, where the straw on the camel's back, it will break. And I just think that some people are already getting to that point. I have seen a lot of it. I thought when I did my video last year that a lot of people were starting to get really disheartened and starting to walk away from the hobby, and I think we're in an even worse spot now. And I think some of these price increases for January, some of these shrinkage of sets, we're really getting to a really interesting place here, because it cannot go on indefinitely. People go, it can go on indefinitely. It really can't go on indefinitely, but it's just about what happens from this point forward. Like I said, I think there'll be a moment where the straw breaks on the camel's back. For me personally, it's something that I feel sort of sadness about, in the sense that I want this to be accessible to as many people as possible, for a couple of reasons. The first of which being my own personal circumstances growing up, not particularly sort of proud and loud about my sort of hobby of loving nerdy ventures, and indeed Lego, and of course the aspect of ADD as well, where I was struggling to deal with certain situations, but I really enjoyed and really resonated with actually building Lego, particularly in the themes of IPs that I absolutely loved. And I believe, and I'm worried that a generation of kids from my work in the therapeutic industry, I'm a mental health practitioner here in the UK, for those that aren't aware and are just jumping into this video for the first time, I'm worried that there is going to be a generation of kids that are not going to be able to access all of this stuff, because they are going to be priced out, and parents are going to be priced out of these sets. And quite often now you've got people saying that you have to wait to get Lego sets on sale, and I believe that that is going to be a continuing theme. And I just wonder at what point this will stop, particularly at a time period where Lego are making more profit than ever. I don't even know what to say. This is going to be an absolute nightmare to edit, because I am just sat here going, I can't believe we're in this position where the prices have just become so unmanageable for people, such a deal breaker for people. It's kind of so sad. I understand with inflation, these sets are always going to become slightly more expensive year on year, but I just wish it was capped just ever so slightly, just for a little bit. Let's not see another £35 battle pack for another couple of years. Let's just leave that to the side. Let's go back to £20 battle packs, to 15, 18, even £25 battle packs. And some of these sets, I just think it's penny pinching, and I just don't love it. It's left me feeling really sad for people that love this stuff, people that want to get into this stuff, for people who maybe like kids who were like myself, who need this kind of stuff to help them grow, develop, function as an escape tool, as a cognitive tool, to start accessing how to function, how to build things, how to grow, how to follow things step by step. The endorphins that you get by completing one page and then the next page and then the next page. And of course, just the creative play. I'm reminded with mocks all around me of the idea of creating your own thing, creating something that is your own. And it's just a really sad spot for me. It's been a bit of a downbeat video, and that is a shame. Hopefully we'll have some really exciting stuff to come in this space over the next couple of weeks. There is a ton of stuff planned. We've got a ton of stuff going on in the Lego room and indeed over on Whatnot. So we are very excited about what is to come. It has been a bit of a downbeat video. If you've got some thoughts and opinions on this as well, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Please do keep it kind, keep it respectful. Please do respect each other when you are making comments about particularly something like Lego. It's very personal to a lot of people, hence why there are people like myself who make content around Lego. If you've made this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. It has not been an easy one to deliver, never mind probably to watch. It is an interesting position that we are in with Lego, and definitely with Lego Star Wars. Thank you for watching. If you made it to this point, please do consider subscribing, and go and check out all of the other Lego Star Wars videos that we've got on the channel, hopefully slightly more upbeat than this one. Take care, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye.